In the small town of Harmonyville, a lingering tension shadowed the lives of two families, the Johnsons and the Carters. Decades ago, a misunderstanding between the patriarchs had sown seeds of resentment that grew into a deep-seated grudge. This animosity was passed down to their children, who were taught to avoid and distrust each other. Among the younger generation were Emily Johnson and Jack Carter. Both were in high school and, despite their family's feud, had never truly interacted. The bitterness between their families had made them wary, and they carried the burden of this grudge like an invisible weight. One rainy afternoon, fate intervened. Emily's car broke down on a deserted road, far from town. As she struggled to fix it, Jack happened to drive by. Despite recognizing Emily, his initial instinct to drive away was overpowered by a sense of decency. He stopped and offered his help. Emily, though hesitant, accepted. As Jack worked on the car, they exchanged awkward pleasantries. The shared task broke the ice, and they began to talk more freely. Jack's genuine kindness and Emily's gratitude started to chip away at the barriers built by years of familial hatred. Over the next few weeks, Emily and Jack's paths crossed more often. They discovered shared interests and similar dreams, and a tentative friendship began to form. However, they kept their growing bond a secret, fearing the backlash from their families. The more they interacted, the more they realized how baseless and damaging the grudge had been. They decided to confront their families about it, hoping to end the cycle of hatred and resentment. One evening, Emily mustered the courage to speak to her parents. She recounted her experiences with Jack, highlighting his kindness and their common interests. Her parents were initially furious, but as Emily spoke passionately about the futility of the grudge, they began to listen. Jack faced a similar reaction from his family. His father, still bitter from past events, resisted the idea of reconciliation. But Jack's determination and the logic behind his arguments began to soften his father's stance. Emily and Jack decided to arrange a meeting between their families. It was tense at first, with years of resentment palpable in the room. But Emily and Jack took turns sharing their stories and perspectives, emphasizing the burden of carrying hatred and the benefits of letting go. Slowly, the conversation opened up. The older generation began to acknowledge their mistakes and the irrationality of their feud. Memories of the past were revisited with a new understanding, and apologies were exchanged. With time, the Johnsons and the Carters started to rebuild their relationship. The shared history that once divided them became a bridge for mutual understanding and respect. Emily and Jack's friendship blossomed openly, serving as a testament to the power of forgiveness and the importance of overcoming hate. The town of Harmonyville noticed the change. The story of the Johnsons and the Carters spread, inspiring others to reconsider their own grudges and resentments. The community began to heal, and the burden of hatred that had weighed so heavily on everyone started to lift. Emily and Jack's courage to challenge the status quo and confront the senseless hatred that had divided their families demonstrated that holding grudges is a heavy burden. By choosing forgiveness and understanding, they not only freed themselves but also paved the way for a brighter, more harmonious future for their families and their community. Their story became a beacon of hope, showing that overcoming hate is possible and that the lightness of forgiveness can truly transform lives.